Somewhere out there, there's a forest of greedy, Once-esque paper executives chopping down trees in the name of back-to-school shopping. And we're just throwing them freebies at this point. I came outside for the nature aesthetic, but this video really isn't about trees, actually. It's about why my note-taking system is just way cooler than yours. Why do we need so much paper to study? It feels like schools are forcing it down our throats, and the media, that we need all these journals and notebooks and scratch pads in order to be academically successful. And there's not a lot of evidence of that, I feel. It seems like the real cause is that the education system is losing the battle against consumerism, partly due to just lazy school systems thinking, why give thought to some system that's been working for years? The kids don't mind it. They get to buy their 16 count pack of colored highlighters that inevitably just ends up going to waste and never seeing the light of day or marking on paper. But back to school shopping is a massive scam. Like, Papermate and Sharpie have their marketing so locked down and effective that it convinces us that we need that 8-pack of rollerball gel pens, and then we'll be an academic weapon, and our note-taking will be so pretty and aesthetic, and everything will go our way. But it's really never been the case, and a lot of it is in this cult of back-to-school shopping, where you need one notebook per class, one folder, one color highlighter per vocab word. You have to put titles on your notebook. It ultimately is just a giant scheme to leave as much money as possible for these large stationery companies. I have a lot of books, not just for reading, but I have an art hobby, so I have the objectively correct opinions about paper quality and what pens and pencils to get. But I do not have a lot of composition books. I actually despise composition books, and I think it's very obvious when you think about it that composition books are, one, terrible quality and cheap, and secondly, they do nothing to benefit your learning efficacy. The paper quality is awful. Like, you can look at the stats of it, but it's so thinly pressed and so cheap that you should be able to get them for like 50 cents. They're pretty much free for the companies to make. They have weak spines and covers made of cardboard, and ultimately they're just really ugly to write on and to look at. And for me personally, that's kind of important in a notebook. Currently, I only use one notebook. It's kind of just an everyday carry notebook. I draw, I write, I do math work in it. Importantly, it's not a journal and it's not a notepad. It's a high quality Oxford notebook, and it fulfills a conglomeration of all of my paper tasks. What should note-taking actually be? The best note-taking systems, I think, are inevitably going to be digital systems. Notebooks are a stack of paper, and there's a lot of use in that, but there's a lot of horrible pitfalls that we have the advantage of living in a digital world and can circumvent. Like, paper just sucks at reformatting. You can't, move around files. You can't erase easily, especially on crappy composition notebooks. Like, you can't label, index, or search through a notebook as effectively for keywords and whatnot. But pretty much every digital system will let you do all of this incredibly quickly. And as far as what I recommend, Notion's really popular. A lot of people use it because you can make these pretty boards and feel really productive, and I think that's great. I use obsidian.md, which is objectively better, really without any argument, than anything else. But I've been customizing it for the past 4 years to make it like actually good. And if you email me, I'll give you my setup, but I am actually really elitist, and so you'll probably have to prove your worth first. But if you're a nerd, you can use like NeoVim Obsidian setups, which was pretty popular at some point, but really you kind of have to be super into NeoVim and configuring that before you touch a note-taking setup with it. But realistically, Google Docs works. Microsoft Word, Evernote, I don't know what people were using back in the day, but just any digital system right now is good enough. Like, if you want optimal, then go Obsidian, but everything's good enough. Now, you should consider the necessary overflows onto paper, the pitfalls and failures of digital systems, which is primarily in drawing. Like, you can use, iPads or those e-ink minimalist drawing tablets to do digital drawings for note-taking. But sending the drawings, for me, is too much of a hassle. iPads are expensive. Really, everything's expensive or slow. And I don't mess around with sending drawings. And I just use paper. It doesn't really matter what paper. Importantly, there's the kind of lack of ability to think mathematically on like digital typed systems. Personally, I do all of my math on paper and then transcribe it to LaTeX if I want to save it. But it's really annoying to me to be forced to start on a typed system like LaTeX or Types to handle math because it's slow. Like, math is one of those things that it's faster to write as you're thinking. Speed is another strong point for paper, because realistically, no matter how locked in your Obsidian or NeoVim setup is, it's going to take you at least 10 to 15 seconds to boot it up when you want to write down something. So on a notebook, you can just open it up and flip to a random page as fast as your hands will move. And so in cases where I'm too lazy to turn on my computer, paper is the way. But if you're into paper for the aesthetics, like, I know a lot of people kind of waste a lot of time, in my opinion, making those super pretty notes with really nice titles, and they utilize their 16-pack of highlighters and pens. And those are great, but you should realize that it's really not helping you as far as actual learning. And you're missing out on the art of an efficient Notion project. Like, there's some really pretty stuff out there for digital systems that I personally think is always going to be a slower physical system. There's a lot of creativity that you can do with configurable systems like Notion and Obsidian. Yeah, the moral of the story is efficiency trumps aesthetic. Try not to be a consumerist, performative, academia maxing aura farmer, and just be more optimal, and stop spoon feeding money to the CEO of Papermate. Yeah.